Hello and welcome to the 15th episode of Real Estate Advice with Victoria Mead. I'm your host, Victoria Mead. If you're there, please comment below so I can say hello and I can know you're there. If you have real estate questions, please drop them in the comments below. If you're watching this as a replay, thanks for doing that. Feel free to ask questions still on there and I'll answer it or I'll bring it up next week on the next live. So hello, Allie. Thanks for joining. Anyone else there that wants to say hello? Drop it in the comments. So today, the topic is going to be the top 5 strategies that buyers are using to make their offers stronger in this crazy market. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Mom. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you guys. All right. Here we go. Oh, did we get another one? No. Okay. Oh, Brian, thanks for joining. Wow. This is awesome. All right, so here we go. Top 5 strategies. Now, I'm not going to give away all my strategies because obviously I get paid to know these things and to keep them secrets and use them for my clients only. But these ones are the most used that I see, so a lot of buyers know these, so I'm okay with sharing. All right, so let's start. This one's going to seem a little obvious. Higher price. So when a house is listed for $450, buyers in this market are starting to look at list price as starting bids. So instead of being like, oh, I offered full price, they're like, you only offered full price, which is so bizarre, totally crazy. It's an awful market for buyers, in my opinion. But offering a higher price is one way to make your offer stronger. If you're going to offer 10 grand under, the seller is more than likely not even going to take a look at your offer. They're going to be like, all set. If you offer 10 grand over, they'll be like, okay, anything else? In this market, they want you to come in strong. They want you to come in high. They want you to give it your all. So higher prices look the best, make your offer stronger. Waiving inspections. So I don't personally like this one at all. When I bought my house during the pandemic, I did not waive my inspections. And Brian Burleson, the person that commented, by the way, he is the recommended home inspector that I use. I used him when I bought my house, and I'm really glad I did because he found a leak underneath our front door into our basement. Had I waived the inspections, I probably would have never seen it ever. Waiving inspections is a bad idea, but buyers are doing it because it's one less thing for the sellers have to deal with as a headache to negotiate. So they're waiving their inspections. Some are waiving just some are waiving all. Don't do it. Paying above the appraised value. So this kind of goes back to paying over and above list price. So when this whole crazy market thing first started, buyers were going stupid over and listing agents were like, it's not going to appraise for that. I don't know why they're even offering that. We're not even going to take this offer because it's so substantially higher than this house is worth that we're not even going to deal with you. Now buyers are saying, well, I'll give you 50 grand more than appraised value, but if it doesn't appraise, I'm willing to pay 20 grand more than the appraised value, which then means they have to come up with an extra 20 grand or whatever the amount is to bring to closing extra, because the appraised value is there so that the bank knows how much the property is worth, so they know how much to lend you. So if it appraises for 365, they're not giving you a dime more than 365 for a loan. So if you offer 400, you're coming up with the rest of that if you say so in your offer. So some sellers are like, sweet, so I'll get this price no matter what. Cool, I'll take this offer. Makes it really strong. This one is not one of my favorites, a lease back option. So because the market is so tough for buyers right now, it's tough when the seller's trying to find a house, especially with a suitable housing contingency in their offer. So buyers are saying, hey, I know you need suitable housing time, but how about instead of me giving you time to find a house, I just close this deal and then I let you live there and you can lease it back to me until you find a house. What? Yeah, I don't like that idea. Don't recommend it, but buyers are doing it. And sellers are like, sweet, so I can stay at my house for only this portion of money and take my time looking. Then my next offer is not going to have a, contingency about my house selling. Cool. So that's another. And then 5, this is very controversial for some reason. It's an escalation clause. So buyers are saying, hey, this is my offer. I'm offering you $350, but I'm willing to pay $5,000 higher than the highest bidder up to a certain amount. So if they offer $350 and they say I'm willing to pay $5,000 more than the highest person up to $425, then you know that if, okay, I might be paying $425 for this house, or I might be paying $5,000 more than whatever the highest they got was. That doesn't always work if the listing agent on the other side doesn't properly explain it to the seller, or they don't actually properly know what it means. Then they're not going to portray it well, and then the seller could miss out on an opportunity for an extra $5,000. Or, you know, maybe the seller just doesn't like your other terms and they don't want to take it. But an escalation basically says, I'm willing to go even higher if I have to. I'll go even higher than the highest person. So those are my top 5 strategies buyers are using currently in this crazy market to make their offer stronger. Any questions? I hope that all made sense. And I'm going to go down. Hi, Joe. Thanks for coming on. You remember all these crazy things we did. All right. Just like it was yesterday, right, Joe? I see 6 people are watching. Let's see who else is there. And if anybody has questions, feel free to drop them below. If not, then I'm going to be back next Friday, 7 p.m., to do another live. So if you think of a question in the meantime, feel free to come back and ask. Chelsea, hi. What are you seeing as lease back terms is what Chelsea asked. So I don't recommend it ever. So I don't see very many lease back options, believe it or not, because if I'm on the buying side, I don't usually offer that. I mean, I give the buyer the option, but usually I'm like, this is why it's kind of a concern. And they say, yeah, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. And I say, okay, let's not do that. So I don't see very many, but basically I had one close recently with somewhat of a lease back option. And it just basically said in there how much she's paying and that she can't, they all know that she can't stay forever. It's just short-term rental back, basically. But for some financing, you need to be in your house within 60 days. So for some financing programs, if the seller's not out within 2 months, you technically created a bad problem for yourself, because if you need to own or occupy within 60 days, the seller doesn't move out for 4 months, mortgage fraud. Great question. Anybody else? Chelsea said, I had a seller agent ask me if my buyer would do a lease back for free. Wow. In this market, sellers think they can get away with anything, which a lot of times they can, but that's rough. I hope your buyer didn't agree to that, just because I feel like that's a little greedy on the seller's end. Wild stuff we're seeing. All right. Oops, moving my screen. Thank you, Chelsea. Thanks for tuning in. You have a great night too. And everybody else, thanks for coming, and have a happy 4th of July weekend. It's going to be cold, but make the best of it. And I'll see you next Friday, 7 p.m. Thanks. Bye.